Welcome. In this video, we are going to be creating a rough plan for this game coming up, this game that we're going to call Go Home, and we'll dig into the details, obviously, later on in this lecture. So we'll start off by defining the user's problem. The reason for this is we really want to get in the user's head when we're designing a game. We want to know what makes them tick, why are we creating this game, what problem are we solving for them. Then we're going to brainstorm the core of the game design document, the concept, rules, and requirements. We'll get into details of what each of these is in a little bit. And then we're going to document possible future ideas because we don't want to have the scope creep too far on us. We want to know what things we're going to do in the future, but not now. So it's a no list. So let's start off with the problem. A user might be bored. So this is a very common problem that games solve, is they solve boredom. Or they might want to challenge you might want to challenge myself. You want to get better. You want to constantly improve and see how far you can get in a game. Or you might want to beat your friends. You might want to play against your friends and see who can get the best score. So that's a reason that we have scores in games, is we want to beat your friends. How about the concept? So this game is called Go Home. And basically, you are lost and trying to find your way home. All you know is that your distance from home. So you're completely blind in a world, presumably completely mired by fog, but somehow you've got a beacon that is telling you you are so many meters away from home, and you've got to find your way back to home using this beacon device. Now, how does that work? What are the rules? Well, you can move up, down, left, and right. Those are your interactions with the game. And your movement is by a fixed distance. So you can hop, say, 1 meter up, or 1 meter down, or 1 meter left, or 1 meter right. And then after each turn, your distance from home is displayed. We're going to be using something called the console, but you'll see that in a minute. And when you win, well, you win when you get home. Obvious, the name of the game. And the score is how many turns it took you to get home. So that's the competitive element. That's the bit that allows you to compete with your friends. You can say, look, I managed to do it in so many fewer turns than you. I'm much better, etc. And so we fulfill somebody's need for competition. Now, this is a challenge slide. This you can see from the pause button and from the green. Basically, it means I want you to soon pause the video and have a go at something yourself. So I want you to have a go at writing the requirements. Now, let me give you an inkling of what this actually means. It's what kind of assets will we need? So we're talking about requirements. When we build this game, what are we going to need to have that we can't produce ourselves? So, for example, do we need any 3D assets, 2D assets, anything like that? Do we need any sound effects? Will our game require some sound effects? Do we need some artwork to make our game look pretty? Perhaps some level load screens, things like that. And what features will you be leaving out? What will you leave for a future version of the game or just not implement at all? What is your no list? So I know you have never done this before and it might be a bit new and novel, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about getting it wrong. There is no right answer. I'd just like you to brainstorm your requirements and brainstorm your no list, and then share those requirements in the discussions. So do that, pause the video and share in the discussions before coming back and continuing with the video. Okay, welcome back. I hope you've all paused and had a go. It's really important to have a go. Even if you're not completely sure, it will really help when you do go and look through the solution to actually have understood it. You know, I've tried it and yes, that makes sense. It really helps you learning a lot more. So what requirements have I come up with? I'm keeping the scope very minimal and it's just going to be a text-based game. So the requirements for me are going to be an introduction and story text. That is pretty much most of it. We might need some ASCII artwork to make our story look a little bit more pretty and less left-brained. And then we might want some sounds. Well, but in this case, I think we'll leave them out, seeing as it's a text-based game. So we'll say no sound effects for this game. How about the future ideas, things that we won't implement right now? I'm not going to be implementing a graphical interface. We'll leave that for future sections, and we'll do things like that then. Again, no sound effects. So that is everything for this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to be getting started and having a go at programming our first program.